I think we have some successes in crowdfunding technology project in Cameroon. Pulsar, like Pulsar.com, the digital wallet, the system that helps, the online payment software system that started here in Boya and has a partner in Washington DC. They did a crowdfunding campaign and they raised up to about, I think they got maybe $4,000 or $8,000. I think one of those wallets, I'm not too sure. But it's either $4,000 or $8,000, and that was a success. I know Archie Zhang of Cardiopad is also having a crowdfunding campaign going on right now, and he's only promoting with this his Rolex award as he's traveling across Europe. He's talking about it, and it is helping him. I think he's also trying to raise $10,000 so he can build like 20 more units of the Cardiopad to distribute to hospitals in Cameroon to do the heart disease. I don't know. Yeah. So Pulsar Pay and Cardiopad are two projects I think have gone through the crowdfunding route and they are seeing some results. And they're all projects that started here in Cameroon. Cardiopad started in Yaoundé, Pulsar Pay started here in Boya. Yeah, I think like in the cases of Pulsar Pay and Cardiopad, the kind of money they're getting through crowdfunding, especially for Pulsar Pay, going through institutional investors, the investors would normally tell them that it's too risky, the competition is too much, like competition from the PayPal that has come to Africa, MTN mobile money that's going virtual. Yeah, so investors don't really are not comfortable with that. But with crowdfunding, I can invest 10,000 francs, some other person invests 10,000 francs, and it's easy since the risk is lower. And just if I lose the business, if the business, because startups, 90% of startups fail. So if the business is going to fail, I'll just lose 10,000, and many people so you can lose 10,000 without investing in business like that. So yeah, I think crowdfunding will help Africans. Although personally, I am not too into crowdfunding because I don't do well with social things like that. I prefer going to institutional investors, convincing them, taking their feedback, working hard to convince them to the point where I get to raise capital. But I also believe crowdfunding backed by African diaspora, like Africans in US, UK, can be very, very good if there's a way to channel all these people into a reliable crowdfunding platform and tell them there are these projects in Africa that you can invest in, and you can just put $5 and you meet the goal, and then you can maybe get something in return, or just the satisfaction that you invested in the project and it succeeded. Okay, the first thing I'll advise the person to first of all get the skills and get to build a minimum viable product so that they have a proof of concept. And after that, they can now go to crowdfunding because they have something they can show and say we need money to do more, and then people can contribute to their cause. Because crowdfunding works like you have to buy into people's minds, it's like donations. Yeah. So what I'll advise them, if they get to the point where they have launched a crowdfunding campaign and they come on, they need to get it's about the social network you have, the people you know and the people they know. So if you're in Cameroon, you might not know many people that might be able to donate, but it would be nice, like in the case of Pulsar Pay, they had a partner in America who was in the university there, and she talked with her friends in the university, and they talked with their friends, and they donated money into the project. So I'll advise an African in Cameroon, in Boya, who is trying to launch a business and wants to go crowdfunding route, they should try to inquire if they have a friend. They should look for their high school friend who is in America, who is maybe in the university there, if the person is in Harvard or Stanford or where these things are hot. So they make that person a partner, and then they launch a campaign of the crowdfunding, and that person will talk to their friends, hey, I'm launching this project in Africa, you guys can contribute. Or if there's a way the person can communicate to all the Cameroonian diaspora, because they understand this concept. Because if you go to the streets of Cameroon and put adverts and even launch an event, which is the way to go, and invite people to come and tell them about crowdfunding, they might not really be interested. But in the West, they will be. So that is how I think it works for most of these guys.